What's going on, guys? It's Patrick here. Welcome back to the channel. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are back at it again with another Fortnite ranking video. So there are a lot of places that I'm sure you and the rest of the Fortnite community like to drop. You know, from Tilted Towers, Pleasant Park, Greasy Grove. There's some nice places, but there's also some really just disgustingly bad locations to spawn in on. And I was thinking, since we've already done a video like this for the new locations, why not just make a big general video about every single location in Fortnite. And today we're going to be ranking every single noteworthy location in Fortnite from worst to best. As always, we're going to be giving away $25 worth of V-Bucks to you guys, so all you have to do to be entered into win that, just subscribe to the channel, comment down below what your favorite location in Fortnite to land is. And if you say Tilted Towers, I'm gonna smack you. Anyways though, guys, let's get into it. So coming in at the worst location to land in the entirety of the Fortnite map, in my opinion, this is going to be Haunted Hills. Now, Haunted Hills ranks in at our very lowest spot on the entire list, as well as the lowest spot in our trash tier landing spots. There is nothing good that I can say about Haunted Hills. It's got very bad loot, even if you're going there by yourself. It's not very good location, and realistically, there's just so many better options that you can go with. And I think the thing that is really telling about how bad this place is the few times I've ever gone there, nobody else has gone there. It's just one of those spots that it's an absolute ghost town, and it's just undisputably awful. So coming in at our number 2 spot for worst locations, this is going to be the Trailer Park. Now, this is another one of those spots that I have absolutely nothing good to say about it. The Trailer Park has very little loot and is overall just like a very obscure place that nobody goes to. The only reason that I think this deserves a little bit better ranking than our absolute bottom, which is Haunted Hills, is the fact that it's got decent location. I mean, you're pretty close to a lot of different areas, including Retail Row, so at least you can spawn there and go find some action, whereas Haunted Hills is just straight middle of nowheres and trash. Now moving on to our third worst location in Fortnite, this is going to be Wailing Woods. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. Wailing Woods is garbage. There is a small but very vocal community out there that gets mad at me every time I say this, but just hear me out. The maximum amount of chests that can spawn at Wailing Woods is 3. You can get 3 max. 3! On top of that, there are a few houses that you can loot which usually have nothing, and then you're left to go somewhere else to find stuff, but most likely get killed by a team that actually isn't stupid. 98% of the time I spawn into Wailing Woods, I end up with nothing, and I'm just running through the forest with lots of wood, which is awesome, but no weapon. Now from here, guys, this is our 4th worst on the list and the 2nd best of the trash tier weapons. This is the Racetrack. Now, the Racetrack definitely isn't the worst location in Fortnite, but is it really that good? No. The Racetrack has a few chests, and there's some houses that surround it that you can go to once you're done looting there, but overall, it's just another one of those places that it's bad location and bad loot. Now, the only good thing I really have to say about the Racetrack is it is a really fun ending spot for the circle, which is, it's kind of a random one, but it's very different. But overall, the Racetrack is, again, just pretty garbage. It's funny, I swear, like, everything on the east coast of the map is just bad. Now, coming in at our 5th worst location and the number 1 spot of the trash tier locations, this is gonna be Moisty Mire. Now trust me, I don't have anything good to say about Moisty Mire, but I will say it is the best of the worst. So what is good about Moisty Mire? Well, anyone that's a fan of Moisty Mire will tell you, oh, you can get so much wood from the trees, but it's like roughly the same amount that you can get from any pallet at the factory or anything like that, so that's not too significant. The only other thing is there are a few more chests than some of the lower ranking areas, but overall, I feel like Moisty Mire it's just not a good place to go. You can get resources and you can get some weapons, but it's bad location. And I mean, yeah, you can continue on maybe to the prison, but by the time you get there, the people that were at the prison have already left, and then you're just gonna run a no-kill game. I think honestly, Moisty is just one of the most mediocre places that you can spawn in the game. Now we're gonna move on from here to our meh locations. There's 8 in this category, and the first one, the lowest ranking one of this little tier, is going to be the Motel. So the Motel is definitely not a place to go in squads. It's just not got enough loot. It's really not an amazing area, but it's getting put on in this section just because I think it has some merit for solos and duos. Maximum amount of chests you can get is roughly 7 to 8 if you're lucky, and overall it's decent for loot. The location is obviously pretty bad, you're not going to get a lot of buildables, but overall it's one of those places you can go and actually end up with a pretty good game. Up next we have the shipping container place, that really random spot with all the big shipping containers. That place, like, okay, who goes there? I don't go there, but I will be honest is that it's not the worst place you can go. I think my number one reason why I don't like this area is there's not a lot of chests. Like, there's definitely a lot of looting, like items on the ground, but there's only roughly 1 to 4 chests depending on your luck. Now, it does get bonus points as it, again, is decent location on that side of the map anyways. You're close to retail, you're close to a few other places surrounding you, so it's not awful, it's not great, it's just the shipping container place. Moving on from here, we have Flush Factory. Yes, I said it, Flush Factory. It's not good. There is a small community that really likes Flush Factory, and I just want to say, like, why? Why do you like Flush Factory? If Flush Factory was anywhere else in the map, it would be fine, okay? I'm not hating on Flush Factory's actual resources. The thing that I hate about Flush, it is the most out-of-the-way area in Fortnite. You can get a lot of stuff there, but by the time you're done looting, there's gonna be no one in the area at all, and it's just like very low-kill games. That is why I don't like Flush. It has nothing to do with the loot or the actual area itself. I think it's funny that it's got toilets, but it's just bad location. Moving on, we have Dusty Depot, and the only thing that I would say about Dusty Depot can be very accurately described by this meme. Yeah, fuck Dusty Depot. Now moving on to our next location, we have the first spot that I think is fine. It's still in the meh category, but it's fine. It's the prison. I think there's nothing wrong with the prison. I think the prison is a fine place to go to. There's just a lot better places to go. The thing I will say about the prison is, to me, it seems to be a little overrated, as it's decent location, but not great loot. Like, if it was more of a low-key spot, I think it would be fine, but there's so many people that go to the prison, and there's just never enough loot to come out of there feeling good. Up next, we have Tomato Town. What's not to love about Tomato Town? It's a pizza place. Honestly though, Tomato Town is just fine. It's not great, but it's more low-key, so like, if you go there, you're gonna get something, hopefully, but not a lot of loot. No, realistically, there is not a lot of loot at Tomato Town, but it is a decent location. It's a little bit more low-key. It's fine. It's just Tomato Town. Tomato Town is arguably the most bland location in all of Fortnite. From here, we have Loot Lake. Now, when I say Loot Lake, I basically mean every single area that is around Loot Lake and the middle island as well. Loot Lake is overrated. I think people know that by now. In the early days of Fortnite, it was way too overrated. You could definitely get some decent loot at Loot Lake, but the thing is like, it's all so spread out that you realistically either go to the factory, you go to the middle house, or you go to the upper buildings, and it's just like, it's fine. It's just Loot Lake, man. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in at the #1 spot of our meh locations, we have Anarchy Acres. Now, I don't think anyone is a huge fan of Anarchy. Like, people just don't really tend to go there as much as they go to Fatal Fields, and I don't really know why. I think mostly it's due to the location. There's not a lot by Anarchy, and the places that are by Anarchy aren't very good. You've got Tomato Town one way, Loot Lake the other, and then Pleasant Park is a really far ways away. It's got really good loot, but just bad location. Moving on to our next tier, guys, we have the good locations. There's 8 in this spot. We're gonna start things off with Lonely Lodge. Lonely Lodge, in my opinion, is actually pretty underrated, as you can get a lot of chests in the main lodge building, and there's actually quite a few around the area as well. The thing with Lonely Lodge is it is quite lonely, actually, and not a lot of people go there. So if you end up spawning there, you're probably gonna be by yourself, which is not necessarily a bad thing. As far as actual location, it's definitely not ideal, but I think it is a good suit for a more timid, like, kind of campy player. Again, I have no issues with Lonely. Up next, we have Shifty Shafts. Now, I actually do think this mine is a pretty good spot, as what I like to do is go here, get suited up, and then actually head into Tilted. It's got mediocre loot, but the one thing that Shifty really has going for it is just its absolute amazing location. There's so many places around Shifty, and this just makes for it being a very nice spot to pick up a lot of kills. From here we have the Cougar Dome, the Soccer Dome, whatever you want to call it. And again, it's one of those spots that just might not have the best loot, but its loot is made up for with location. Maybe not the best squads place, it is really good to go as a solo or a duo and get some stuff. You can head over to Snobby, you can head over to Shifty, you can even head over obviously to Tilted Towers. Heck, you can even head up to Pleasant Park if you want to. That's the thing that I really like about this place. It is probably one of the best located areas in Fortnite, to be completely honest. Moving on to the number 5 spot of our good tier locations, we have the far northeast houses. So this isn't a direct location on the map, but I'm referring to the area that is sort of in between Anarchy Acres and Wailing Woods. This is an amazing squad spot to go if you don't have anyone else going here, because there's about 4 fairly decent sized areas. They're all sort of houses or 2 houses that each person can go loot up and then continue on to different areas. Before the update, this actually used to be one of the highest ranked locations in Fortnite just because it was low-key but had a ton of great loot. Next up, we have Junk Junction. Good loot, amazing resources because it's got all the metal there, bad location. Coming in at number 3 on our good tier list, we have the Big Factory located just north of Flush Factory. This is a really interesting area because it's about twice as good for loot as the normal factory in the middle of the map, but way worse as far as location goes. I like to consider this the soft version of the normal factory, as it's a much more low-key area. You get a lot less traffic here, but you also get a lot better loot. It's not great for people looking for a lot of action, but it's great for people that are just looking to get some loot and continue on and maybe get a few kills. Coming in at number 2 on our good tier, we have Salty Springs, and I don't like Salty. Salty has amazing loot, even better location, and I still don't like it. My problem with spawning in at Salty is you always have at least one teammate die whenever you go there. The first 2 minutes is a lot of luck, just getting a good weapon, not getting trapped in a house with another player and getting insta-killed by them, and that's usually what happens. So personally, I hate Salty, but there's no denying that it is one of the better locations in Fortnite. And ladies and gentlemen, coming in at our number 1 spot in the good tier list, we have Snobby Shores. Snobby is everything that Salty wants to be and more. It has got some god tier loot. Every single house has a few chests in it. It is absolutely amazing. And despite it being way off to the side of the map, it's got great traffic. You've even got a really nice route you can take from Snobby to the Cougar Dome to Tilted Towers and then wherever the circle goes. So I think Snobby is a really good spot and probably one of the better that they added with the new update. But ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move into the top 6 locations, the best 6 that you can go in all of Fortnite. This is our legendary tier. So coming in at number 6, we have Fatal Fields. Now I think that Fatal was honestly much better before the update, but it is still a great spot to go. Fatal is one of those places that you can walk out of here with 10 kills and not even realize it. The thing that I love about Fatal is it's very spread out, but it's still very high population, so you can just get kill after kill after kill, and it's just where are these people even coming from? The loot here is absolutely amazing. In total, with the surrounding areas, there's 15 possible chests. And even as far as location goes, it's pretty good. You can continue on to Salty, maybe even Tilted after that. At number 5, we have Greasy Grove. Good loot, good location, there is nothing bad that I can say about Greasy. Now from here we have Retail Row, number 4. And Retail Row is one of those interesting places. Retail used to be one of the highest traffic areas before Tilted came out, and I think that, honestly, it almost got better because of this. Retail is still a very high traffic area, it's got amazing loot, it's got amazing location, just nothing wrong with Retail at all. Now coming in at our number 3 spot, we have Tilted Towers. Now I've made a video hating on Tilted Towers. I don't want to talk about the bad aspects here. Tilted has the best loot in the game, the highest traffic in the game, but 9 times out of 10, you are not going to make it out of here alive. It's a lot of fun, but it's not the best. Now ladies and gentlemen, coming in at our number 2 spot on this list, this is Pleasant Park. Now I think before and after the update, this still probably remains the same, as Pleasant used to be a crazy high traffic area, and it's even better now. Pleasant used to be the spot where you'd have 5 to 8 other teams land at once, and it was just an absolute nightmare. Now it's more in that 2 to 5 range, and I absolutely love it. Pleasant is a place that you can go, get a lot of kills, get even more loot, and then the location, despite being kind of out of the way, is really good still. The main 2 places you can go is either going to be Tilted or Loot Lake, and in both places I think are very nice. But ladies and gentlemen, coming in at our #1 spot. There's a reason that every single streamer on the planet goes here. It's the OG Factory. Now, I see this a lot. Why is the Factory the best place to go in Fortnite? Well, honestly, it's pretty simple. So you can get about 4 to 6 chests just by going to this spot. Now, the loot at this place is okay. You got about 4 to 6 chests depending how lucky you get. But in my personal opinion, the reason the Factory is so good is location. You are smack dab between Dusty Depot, Salty Springs, and Retail Row. It's just one of those places that I think is so good to land, get yourself sort of situated, and then continue on, get more loot, and it really sets you up for those high kill wins. Factory has always been a classic, and in my personal opinion, it is still to this day the best location to land in Fortnite. Anyways though guys, that is going to be it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is such a subjective list, and I know you guys are probably gonna disagree, but this was my opinion, the most accurate way we could sort everything. Anyways though guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for making it all the way through the video. That's awesome if you're still here. Comment, I'm still here if you're still here. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, you freaking nerds. So coming in as the worst location to land, in my humble opinion, sarcasm, we have Wailing Woods. No, that's not right.